Candy, it is your birthday. So we have researched your life and we have some things that we have discovered.
The events that have transpired in the year 1949 have changed history. Communist forces gained power in China. The Soviet Union lifted the blockade of Berlin. Lyrics were penned for the revolutionary Christmas carol, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And in addition to the introduction of Silly Putty, the world was introduced to Candace Sue Jones.
Candy grew up during much different times. Minimum wage was 40 cents an hour, and the average salary was $3,600 a year. While that might be shocking, it's nothing compared to the media flurry that ensued on February 22nd, 1949, when Grady the 1,200-pound cow got stuck in a silo. And speaking of cows and cowboys, the first television western, Hopalong Cassidy, aired on NBC. Candy could have even been in one of the original viewing audiences for Walt Disney's movies Cinderella and Alice in Wonderland, and could have seen the debut of Rodgers and Hammerstein's South Pacific on Broadway.
During Candy's elementary school years, she saw for the first time ever painted toenails and stiletto high heels. She would have also seen girls wearing large full skirts with hideous poodle appliques sewn on them that are now available for purchase as costumes during Halloween. The phenomenon of greasers versus preps as depicted in the movie My Generations know as Grease developed as teens began to emulate rising icons like Elvis Presley, James Dean, and the Leave It to Beaver family.
And while Ken and Mary Lou Jones tried their hardest to keep the family name from appearing on FBI's dreaded blacklist during the Communist Red Scare, they could not prevent the abuse that was inflicted upon their daughter in their own backyard by her brothers. Reports are still coming in of how Candy was forced by her brothers to be the base during the games of kickball. Not to be the base as in meditation technique, but to literally be the base. They give her a swat across the head as they rounded second base.
And speaking of rounding the bases, little did the St. Louis Cardinals know that in 1949, their biggest fan ever would be born that very year. I'm sure that Whitey and Cloyd and Chuck and Nippy and the rest of the 1949 Cardinals crew just wished that they could have lived long enough to see the dedication, support, and untapped opinions on coaching methods that Candace Sue Jones Tolbert would bring to their lives.
Well, we've been alive to see the introduction of the iPods. Candy was alive to see the introduction of the Vinyl 45. Well, we've been alive to see the 10 megapixel cameras and the cell phones. Candy was alive to see the very first Polaroid. While we might be shocked at how different our world is from the world back then, we appreciate those pioneers. Thank you, Candy, for recognizing how much better life would be for our future generations by inventing all of these amazing, wonderful things. Thank you.